Okay, is everybody awake? Yeah? For real? Come on. There, are you all awake? Okay. All right, advancing waste management. You know, waste is the boring, smelly, ugly, it's not my business subject for the rich world, the poor world, and everybody in between, right? It's in fact, waste is money, waste is energy, waste is hydrocarbons. So it's really frustrating to see, pure virgin raw materials are being, resourced for just for creating new items when we can use recyclables as inputs for manufacturing. So what happens if you use recyclables as inputs for your manufacturing? You take, you reduce the burning of fossil fuels because you're not tearing up earth for virgin raw materials, and you're lowering your carbon footprint. So how do you do that? In order for a manufacturer to have proper recyclables as raw materials for their inputs, the recyclables should be usable. So how many of you know about the contamination issues in the recycling industry, the China problem, all the chaos happening in the waste industry today? One, two, that's it? No, come on, more people know about that. Okay, so we said we're going to we'll start solving problems by going to the recycling plants to understand what they're doing, how they're doing their operations today, and how we will use AI and robotics to help them solve some of the challenges that they're facing today and that are getting compounded by the day. Here, you see these two gentlemen. They're expected to pick 45 items per minute in that station, either to remove contaminated recyclables or let the good stuff out. So, and we're sending billions of dollars worth of aluminum cans, HDPE, PET bottles in trash bins to landfills every year. So, marketplace problems. All the recyclables coming from your home, my home, the businesses down the street, they all are contaminated. Contamination could be anything, things that should not be there. Your yogurt cup has yogurt in it. Your Coke can has Coke in it. And we have been exporting all these recyclables to China, India, Malaysia, and said, hey guys, you clean it up. You have billion-plus people. Don't bother us. That game's over. No, that's serious. And it has nothing to do with Trump. That's the ironic thing. So China warned the whole world 10 years ago to stop doing what we are doing, but nobody paid attention. Operating problem? Nobody wants these jobs. It doesn't matter if they make 60K, 70K a year. They do make a lot of money, but the body is not built to do that. Your shoulders fall off. It's impossible. You get pin pricks. You get needle pricks. So the attrition, high employee attrition, higher material processing costs, constantly growing waste. Current challenges, optical sodas. They're from the world of chemistry and agriculture and human labor and expensive and inefficient robots. Optical sodas are the last innovative things that have happened to the waste management space in 1985. The sad thing about waste management space is they innovated more from 1900s to 1985 than they did in the last 3 decades. It just sucks. So what we did, we said, okay, so we are going to use the robot to stand in the place of a human being who does quality control and sorting in material recovery facilities, and let it do the dirty jobs. Let it do the sorting. However you want to do it, positive sort or a negative sort. Simple human-sized form factor. You can slot that into the spot where a human being stands today, and there are millions of pods like that all over North America, and 100,000 employees do that today. But the industry needs over 300,000. They have no people. People rather drive Uber than do that job. So All right, so what I'm going to show you next is a simple video of how a person will gather papers from a conveyor line that has a bunch of trash that is about to go to landfill. And you would see in that picture, this woman is like grabbing so much of paper because it's perfectly recyclable. And you'll also see our robot performing a similar function in a much efficient and elegant manner. Some examples. These are the stations people stand in. All right, exciting? Come on. Slightly better than the human being, right? Now, in all seriousness, this robot can pick 30 to 40 items a minute, uses computer vision, machine learning, deep neural networks to identify what's coming down the conveyor line, and processes everything in milliseconds and gets instructions and coordinates to pick an item and sort them into right bin or the left bin elegantly. Doesn't need coffee breaks, doesn't need a 401k, no healthcare required, okay? And doesn't talk back. That's the most important thing. So our customer, Waste Management Inc., before I get to that, this is what my competition did. So 3 other companies came to this waste management industry and said, oh, here are some robots. Let me show you how to do this. This piece of equipment is $300,000 CapEx, $50K software license for only 1 year, and that's how they started selling. Guess how many they sold in the last 3 years? Come on, pick a number. 100. 100 across 3 companies, the whole world. That's a problem. You can't have 3 companies sell only 100 to a $75 billion North American waste management industry that spends $5 billion just on sorters every year. That's a very backwards way of doing business. What we did is, hey, we're from Silicon Valley, okay? You know, we like SaaS, okay? We're gonna simplify the whole thing. So I'm gonna give you that robot as a robotic worker, and the robot has to earn its keep. That's the story we said. Oh, and we said, oh, you don't need to make any infrastructure changes. Just slide it into any sorting station you have, you're good to go. You know, the funny saying, you know, the first they don't believe you, they ignore you, then they laugh at you, you win. Waste management industry leadership, they're like, you're kidding me. I never heard this in 30 years. No, this is not true, this is not true, this is not true. I was like, no, it's true, it's true, it's true. So I had to literally tell them, it's like you buying your Salesforce or Microsoft Word, and then they got it. I'm like, oh my God. So, but these people spend billions on the problem, okay? So, who are our customers? Waste Management Inc. They bought the first 25 robots, and San Joaquin County in Stockton, California. They wanted 3 as a government. They wanted to start slow. Talking to the college in San Francisco, Titus, a MRF integrator, Republic Services, and a few other companies. Everybody can't wait to get their hands on it because for multiple reasons. Simplicity, easy to install, plug and play. It's an OpEx sale, not a CapEx sale. And above all, it's not big, obnoxious machine. Team, myself, you know, yes, chemical engineering. I worked in ad tech for 2 decades, sold software. My wife challenged me to solve some real problems. That's how I got into this. True story. Took some companies public, private, sold some startups, some failed. Pretty cool background. Come on, I got to tell about myself, right? My co-founder, Pratik, I met him at Rocket Fuel. He was employee number 30 at Rocket Fuel, and They took Rocket Fuel public for $2 billion in 2013. First AI company in the marketing tech space. Anish Sharma, PhD. I literally stole him from Waymo 2 days before he was about to join the company. Literally. He stopped by our lab because somebody said, hey, JD, there is this a guy who's about to start in Google. He's hating it. I said, how can he hate before he even starts? He's like, he doesn't like what he's going to do there. So he comes over. He looks at our office. He says, this is like my lab. I can live here. And he stays for 4 hours. And the next day he writes, I'm passing on the Google offer. Can we talk? So, brilliant man. Sohail, brilliant data scientist, PhD, big data. And again, all 4 of us didn't start the company just because we'll make a lot of money. It's because we also want to solve some real meaningful problems. Yeah, I genuinely mean that. Every one of us in that office is, yep, we are engineers, we went to school to solve some real problems, and we'll also make some money. We made money in the past, but we're not happy. So this drives us every single day because we're dealing with an extraordinarily complex problem. If anybody thinks, that's a computer vision, anybody can do this, oh, all these warehouse startups are there, they can copy you. I'm sorry, I don't believe that because we're dealing with non-homogeneous data sets that are rapidly changing every single minute. And it's incredibly difficult to perform what we're doing, and it's not easy to copy. Thank you very much.